Kickoff is moments away. And standing by for the call are Brandon Godden.
Thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, we've got two NFC West teams here. Your assessment of the state of the division coming into 2019, is it the Rams to lose?
We saw the changing of the guard with the Rams taking over from Seattle a couple of seasons ago. But Seattle got back in the game pretty fast, didn't they? You remember preseason last year? It was doom and gloom. They ended up in the playoffs. Arizona, they're kind of hitting the reset button. Is San Francisco to keep your eye on? With good health, good drafts, they could be the team that can really contend.
The AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago, Jason Myers, will get us started. And we are underway here in Los Angeles. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Okay, Jared Goff coming onto the field with the rest of the Rams offense, and they did not produce much week 6 against the 49ers, a 20-7 loss. And Goff, Charles, he really struggled. Threw for only 78 yards, and that was after he threw for over 900 combined in weeks 4 and 5.
But the problem with throwing for over 900 combined in weeks 4 and 5, came away with no victories in those weeks either. So everyone is jamming the run game with them, and there's not much of that. Todd Gurley didn't play in this last game, but hadn't been giving them what you're used to getting anyway. And boy, did they clamp down on the receivers in this one. How about this? They didn't 0 for 13. Would you have ever expected that with the Los Angeles Rams and their offense?
Not at all. And those 78 yards, as you might suspect, the fewest for Goff in his 44 NFL starts. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Now one of the leaders in the Seattle secondary is safety Bradley McDougald. Since the retirement of Cam Chancellor, he's really had to step up and take on a primary role. Excellent against the run, solid in coverage, 2 interceptions in week 1 of 2018, and never looked back.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Goff now to throw. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
The 4-time All-Pro Johnny Hecker is on to punt for L.A. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Seattle's offense takes the field again. It's an offense that has been humming in 2019. They've scored at least 21 points in every game. They've also liked playing the AFC North. Week 6 with that win over the Browns, that makes them 3-0 against the division. And they're going for the sweep of the division in Week 7 when they host Baltimore.
Almost sounds like college football, doesn't it? When you beat teams within the same division or in the same conference. But I love this start. Their best start since 2013 at 5-1. Before their 5 wins have been by 4 points or fewer. Some people may view that as a negative. I view it as a positive. This is a mentally tough football team.
And the upcoming schedule, we mentioned the Baltimore game, then at Atlanta, home for Tampa Bay before the big one at San Fran. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. Well, they were obviously obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still try to throw it, and...
Yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover. Put your defense in a bad spot.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Here as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Jared Goff and the NFC champs, they get ready to begin this drive. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. From the gun, here's Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Returnable for Lockett. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you have two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. He'll rifle. He takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 36 yards on the play.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Now that catch certainly easier than the one Tyler Lockett made in the back left corner of the end zone in the Thursday night win over the Rams in Week 5. My goodness, that was incredible. In fact, the advanced metrics called it the most And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowler Jalen Ramsey. And he's into the clear. The 30. 10, and he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 71 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And it's no good. He misses the PAT. So file that one away. Could eventually loom large here as the night progresses. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a two-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. LA Rams getting the football back here as they make their way out. CD, I wanted to talk to you about that three-game losing streak they're on. First time that's happened under Sean McVay. Is this the first real adversity they've faced with him as a head coach?
I would say the first sustained adversity, because look, we all get it, right? You know, injuries pop up, you lose a game you expect to win, but let's be honest about it. From the time he's taken over, they've run the NFC West, and you remember that game in Seattle a couple of years ago where they just blasted the Seahawks? It was a changing of the guard. Well, now they've got to fight just to be the top of the food chain in their own division. So yes, sustained adversity, 3-game losing streak, it's a big deal for the Rams right now.
Coming up, they do go to Atlanta, who's struggling, then to London to play Cincinnati, also struggling, so they'll try to get 2 wins before their open week.
Yeah, these are games where, what's the term that they use in the NFL? These are get-right games, and they need to get right so they can get back into the NFC West battles and feel like they have confidence in doing so.
Yeah, because you think about it, they're already 2.5 games behind the 49ers in the NFC West. Connection made here, Goff to Higbee, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Goff. He gets it to Cooks. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. White 20. Mike 5-4. They can't hang with that.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Goff gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here's Goff. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got momentum on their side. They were once down 14-0. Now it's even at 14 as they look to put together a drive to get them the lead. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. To throw is Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more, complete. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
From the 44, Wilson steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 34-yard line. 2 yards up.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. On third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 20-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off.
Yeah, they should have known. They should have known, baby.
Oh, Charles, after that interception in the Super Bowl from the 1-yard line, I thought Pete Carroll would run it inside the 5 every time.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe Pete did want to run it inside the 5. But Russell Wilson, you know he's such a competitor that he doesn't want that interception to stand, and maybe he wanted to be in that spot to hold it a second. I can throw a touchdown pass. Instead, he's victimized again.
From the 29, Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing on third, Goff. And that one's complete to Gurley. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from Los Angeles. It is the Rams in possession, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now it's Lockett. Oh, look at the juke. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been fun to watch run the football. We know he can pass, but using his legs effectively here in this one.
No doubt about it. Watch him maneuver in the pocket, out of the pocket, making the plays that he's making, which are breaking down the defense. I thought back to when we had our morning jog before the game, and I couldn't keep up with you. Those legs, they're valuable for his team.
Always got some. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Going for Metcalf on the deep. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 50 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Off by far the best year of his career. 86 catches, over 1,200 yards. Now he's hoping to build on that, but boy, he was a key cog in the wheel that took them to the Super Bowl last season. Looking to throw again on second down. Goff. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Goal. And that will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Watch the safety cream. Let's go double count right here.
Now Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Pretender. Houston now in control.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 38, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old... days, probably back before you were born. If your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go. Kill.
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. Now it's the backup Smith. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. Now Geno on first down. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw again on second down. Smith eluding the pressure right. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no left.
And the pressure gets to him again. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 15. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now gone. That'll be caught by Cup. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Throwing on 2nd and long. Smith. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. 3rd down here. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. A shotgun snap for Smith. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's inside the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle.
And that trust was justified because he went up and got the football and converted on a down. You shouldn't. 3rd and long like that, that's supposed to be an incompletion at the least.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Carson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st down, it's Smith. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The veteran Eric Weddle there to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. They run the counter. Carson. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
That drive took him inside the 10.
You did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw is Goff. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes